what is happening this week in Wonders of the First? Well, I've got 4 things for you. I'm sure there's more than that, but let's talk about it. So, as all of you know, SCG Con Portland is this upcoming weekend, and we got the announcement for what the promo looks like. And I will pop it up on the screen. It is this beautiful giant hydro jelly promo. I mean, just chef's kiss. You can get it by participating in either of the main events. There is a main event on Saturday and a main event on Sunday. One is constructed and one is sealed. Capricorn does a great job talking about how to prepare for those types of events in various different videos. So, very excited for SCG Cup Portland. We're going to see how all the players work out, how everybody ends up doing on Monday, basically. Well, if you attend, you will know sooner. For those of us who are not able to attend, we will find out early next week. The other thing, and I'm going to put this one second because I do not have a ton of information about it, and I've heard it through the grapevine, so I'm not 100% sure it's true, but I've heard that an Immerse was pulled on a stream this week. And so that is a highly sought after card. Congratulations to whoever it went to and the team that pulled it. I think that's really awesome. I want to say that last thing I've heard is that an Emma OCM sold for a couple $1,000s. So that's a huge pull for the community. And then y'all are probably wondering why I haven't addressed this point this week. The tournament rules update. Both American Texan and Capricorn have amazing videos on it. I'm not going to make a video about it other than talk a little bit about it here because I don't have the experience of getting to play in a tournament yet. So they do a great job talking about it, what these changes mean from a very personal perspective. I don't want to take away from that. But for those of you who don't want to go find another video, here's the basic summary of what they changed. First, a draw is now considered a double loss. I believe that it used to be that a win would get you 3 points, a draw would get you 1, and a loss gets you 0. Now, a win gets you 3, a draw gets you 0, and a loss gets you 0. Both people who do a draw get 0 points. So this is completely going to be changing up how things are done and how people pick whether they're going to draw or not. The other thing is that it's been very clearly specified that if you and your opponent want to draw, you must draw before you play the game and before anybody else around you plays their game. You have to draw at the very beginning of the round so that you can't, try and manipulate your standings based on what you're seeing. You have to do it at the very beginning. And that's the other big change, is that there has been significant clarification and addition into the section of the rules about match/tournament manipulation. And that's something that you should definitely read up on. It's going to make things interesting for teams because it's an added layer of nuance that you have to be aware of when you're working with a team of, hey, how do we make the decision on what to handle? Because if we both draw, we're both taking losses. You don't want to beat your friend, but you also don't want to both take a loss. That's not the best case scenario. Like I said, Cap has a great video about its effect on teams. American Texan has a great video just on the change as a whole, he specifically compares it to what the rules used to say, and I found that really helpful. The last thing that I will talk about for today in our little Friday update is that the Stoneseeker Society has announced what their next tournament is going to be. And when it is going to be. It's going to run from February 2nd to approximately March 1st. It is a $25 entry fee. You obviously have to be in the Stoneseeker Society school. If you aren't already, I highly recommend you join. I put the link down below in the video description. So follow that link. It is I don't remember the exact term. It's like a gated community. That's what I'm coming up with at the moment. So they don't let everyone in, but they have to have a pretty good reason not to let somebody in. So $25 to join the February Stoneseeker Society tournament. They're opening it to as many people as register. So however it works out, they'll let as many people play as they want, and then things will get narrowed down to the top 8, and however much money they pull in will be split amongst the top 8. And the last thing, which I think is really cool, is that it's going to be 1,000 DBS tournament, much like the average tournament, but it is a single orbital deck requirement. So you can only play one orbital in your deck. I think this is really cool. And it matches one of the messages that we kind of got sent from the team with what they said about the DBS update. They said that they were lowering the DBS cost on lands, the 3-drop lands. When you play a 3rd Umbrathine land, untap this land. So if you played 1, 2, and you play your 3rd Umbrathine land, any of the lands that are that land untap. And they're doing that to encourage more people to play single orbital or just dual orbital decks, which I think is really cool. I have at most played with 3 orbitals. I really like sticking in the 2 or 1 range from what I've enjoyed dabbling with and deck building. I think it's a lot of fun. And I like to see the Stoneseeker Society kind of mimicking and testing this new suggested nudged way that the Wonders team wants to see us play. So I think that's kind of cool. Those are the 4 big things I have for you this week. Obviously, there was the DBS update late last week. I already put a video out about that. But these are the things that I wanted to tell you about. I think we've got a lot of good things going into 2026, and it's just going to be a lot of fun to see where this year goes. So, as always, please like, comment, subscribe, and keep being your wonderful selves.